Imagine a city that never sleeps, a city bathed in perpetual sunlight. This was Lumina, the city of the future. Towers grazed the sky, gleaming under the radiant dome that shielded Lumina from the outside world. The streets, always bustling with people, were devoid of shadows. Every nook and cranny was illuminated, chasing away any hint of darkness. Lumina was a utopia. Crime was non-existent. Fear was a distant memory. The citizens were promised lives of comfort, security, and endless joy. The absence of shadows was more than an aesthetic choice. It was a symbol of Lumina's triumph over negativity and hardship. It represented a world where only the bright side prevailed. But perfection, as they say, is a double-edged sword. And in Lumina, this was literally true. The very thing that made it perfect, the absence of shadows, was also the source of a deep-seated unease. An unsettling tension simmered beneath the surface of Lumina's brilliance. Kai was a curious boy. He lived with his parents in a luxurious apartment, surrounded by all the comforts Lumina had to offer. Yet something felt amiss. He couldn't shake off the feeling that something was missing. While other children reveled in the city's perpetual light, Kai felt strangely drawn to the idea of darkness. He spent hours in the library, poring over ancient books that spoke of a time when the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, dancing shadows across the land. He read about the moon, a celestial being that illuminated the night, and the stars that twinkled like diamonds scattered across a black velvet cloth. One day, while flipping through a dusty volume, Kai stumbled upon a fascinating concept. Shadows are not just the absence of light but reflections of it. They are inseparable companions. Where there is light, there must also be shadow. This idea resonated with Kai deeply. It felt like a missing piece of a puzzle he didn't know he was solving. He began to notice subtle things. A flicker in the otherwise constant light, a fleeting expression of sadness on his mother's face, quickly masked by a practiced smile. He even started to hear whispers, faint and indistinct, like shadows themselves, murmuring about a forgotten truth. Driven by his insatiable curiosity, Kai embarked on a quest to uncover the truth about the missing shadows. He hacked into the city's central control system, a feat deemed impossible by even the most skilled technicians. What he discovered chilled him to the bone. The city's founders, in their pursuit of a perfect world, had devised a way to extract the shadows from their citizens. These shadows, representing negativity, fear, and doubt, were trapped within a gigantic energy sphere hidden deep beneath the city. The citizens of Lumina were not truly happy. They were merely existing in a state of enforced positivity, their true emotions suppressed. Armed with this knowledge, Kai knew he had to act. He understood that true happiness couldn't exist without sadness. Courage was meaningless without fear. To be truly alive meant embracing both the light and the dark within oneself. He realized that the whispered voices he had been hearing belonged to the trapped shadows, yearning for release. They were not malevolent entities, but integral parts of what made people whole. Kai resolved to free them, to restore balance to Lumina. Section 4. The Moment of Liberation. Kai's plan was audacious. He would shut down the city's central power grid for a brief moment. This would temporarily disable the dome and cut off the energy supply to the sphere, releasing the trapped shadows. It was a risky move, potentially throwing the city into chaos. But Kai was determined. He snuck into the central control room, his heart pounding in his chest. He initiated the shutdown sequence. The city plunged into darkness for the first time in generations. A collective gasp echoed through Lumina as the citizens, bathed in natural darkness, looked up at the star-studded sky that had been hidden from them for so long. Then, the shadows returned. They surged from the cracked sphere, a wave of darkness sweeping through the city. But instead of engulfing the people, they merged with them. Citizens watched in astonishment as their own shadows reappeared, no longer menacing but familiar, a part of themselves they had forgotten. Section 5. Embracing the balance. The next morning, the sun rose over a changed Lumina. The dome remained deactivated. The city was bathed in the warm glow of dawn, shadows stretching and shrinking with the movement of the sun. There was a newfound vibrancy in the air, a sense of completeness that had been missing before. People smiled, laughed, and cried with genuine emotion. They embraced, their shadows intertwining, acknowledging the shared experience of light and darkness. Kai watched, a sense of peace washing over him. He had brought back the balance not just to the city, but to the very souls of its people. Lumina was no longer a city without shadows. It was a city that had learned to embrace them, to understand that true beauty lay in the interplay of light and darkness, in the acceptance of the full spectrum of human experience.